Good afternoon, friends from the media. Welcome to today's press conference. First, an announcement. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Secretary of the Central Political and Legal Affairs Commission of the CPC, Chen Wenqing, will attend the 14th International Meeting of High Representatives for Security Issues in Russia and visit Russia and Kazakhstan upon invitation from May 27th to June 1st. Now, questions, please.
谢谢发言人。人民日报记者提问：昨天，王毅
China Daily. Yesterday, Foreign Minister Wang Yi chaired the Security Council high-level meeting at the UN headquarters in New York. UN Secretary General and delegates from over 100 countries attended the meeting. Can you share more details? The current international landscape is undergoing the most complex and profound changes since World War II. The purposes and principles of the UN Charter are being disregarded, and basic norms of international relations are being disrupted, putting world peace and security in great jeopardy. As the rotating president of the UN Security Council for May, China holds the high-level meeting themed Upholding the Purposes and Principles of the UN Charter and Strengthening the UN-Centered International System. Delegates from over 100 countries, including foreign ministers and high-level representatives from over 20 countries, attended the meeting. They renewed the founding mission of the UN, engaged in heated and in-depth discussions, and reached important common understandings. Foreign Minister Wang Yi put forward 5 propositions. We must revitalize the UN Charter, the authority of the UN Security Council, international cooperation on development, platforms for global governance, and the efficacy of the UN system. It is a strong call for upholding, revitalizing, and strengthening the UN, and shows China's firm support for multilateralism. It is welcomed by all parties. This year marks the 55th anniversary of the restoration of China's lawful seat in the UN. Over the past 55 years, as the permanent member of the UN Security Council, China has been actively participating in and advancing the work of the UN. China will continue striving for the greater good, championing multilateralism and enhancing solidarity with all countries to build a more just and equitable global governance system and build a community with a shared future for humanity. Next one, please.
Question from Prensa Latina News Agency. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez denounced the escalation of U.S. military threats against Cuba at the UN Security Council and called for international solidarity with the island, as well as a strict respect for the UN Charter. Given that these remarks were made during a meeting chaired by China, what are your comments on this issue? Thank you.
China always advocates respecting countries' sovereignty and territorial integrity, opposes the use of threat or of force in international relations, and opposes violation of other countries' sovereignty and interference in other countries' internal affairs under any pretext. All countries should observe international law and the purposes and principles of the UN Charter. China firmly supports Cuba in safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and development interests. Next one, please.
Hi, FN News Agency. So, Panama said that after one East meeting with Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha that both sides discussed advancing technical maritime cooperation and strengthening dialogue. Can the Foreign Ministry provide more details on the outcomes of the meeting and what specific areas of maritime cooperation were discussed? Thank you.
During his visit in New York, we have released readout about the meeting. I have no more information to add. Next one, please.
谢谢凤凰卫视提问。近日，神舟20
The Shenzhou 23 crewed spaceship was successfully launched on Sunday. The crew, already in China's space station now, includes a payload specialist from Hong Kong for the first time, drawing global attention. What is your comment? As the Shenzhou 23 spaceship successfully completed its mission, the first Hong Kong astronaut entered the Tiangong space station. This is not only a new milestone in China's manned space program, but also a source of pride for all Hong Kong compatriots. As a tangible outcome of the practice of one country, two systems, it fully attests to the arrangement's vitality and strength. Hong Kong has been accelerating efforts to develop itself into an international innovation and technology center. This space mission will surely inspire more young people to contribute to China's scientific and technological development.
Thank you, spokesperson. Question from Reuters. A 68-year-old Chinese man has been detained in South Korea after arriving in the western coastal county of the country via a rubber boat. His arrival was on Monday late, I think. New York Times are reporting that this Mr. Dong, a political dissident, has sought to leave China previously too, but was always sent back. Has the Korean authorities reached out to China about this case, and is China seeking to repatriate this Mr. Dong? Thank you.
我不了解你提到的这些情况。
I'm not familiar with that. Next one, please.
Thank you again. Another question from Reuters. Is China sending, or has China sent any cave diving experts to join the rescue efforts in Laos to help extract the 7 people trapped in a cave that became flooded after they went in search for gold there? Thank you.
受难的8名人员。
被困的这些人。
The personnel trapped are not Chinese citizens, as far as we know, but we care a lot about their safety. Hope that they will be rescued at an early date.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other questions?
Good afternoon. Question from AFP. The United States, India, Japan, and Australia, so the members of what is called the Quad, expressed their concern yesterday over the situation in the East China Sea and the South China Sea. So they did not explicitly name China, but the remarks were clearly aimed at China. So has China lodged any protests with these 3 countries? Thank you.
抗议。
东海
Right now, the situation in the East China Sea and the South China Sea is generally stable. There is no any problem in the freedom of navigation or overflight. The related countries should refrain from interfering in the situation. They should respect and promote stability. Such acts of small circles and blocks cannot win people's hearts.